Welcome to another FafNir guide. Today's guide is an updated guide for branded DESPIA. There's no easy way to play this deck. You have to activate your tryhard mode or else you waste the potential this deck can bring. Now here's the deck list. I'm not going to talk about the deck list a lot, but if you want to build it from scratch, I suggest to aim for this list first. This list is already good enough to perform all the combo that I will share to you later.
Where's Nadir's servant?
Nadir's servant is an UR, and it's pointless to craft them if you don't have the other tools that are also UR. So I suggest to get all the extra deck monster and all the tools in main deck first over Nadir. Next, understanding the general game plan of branded. If you're new to this deck, make sure to follow it. The game plan is pretty simple. The deck is always focused on summoning Mirrorjade, our most terrifying boss monster, and that's the reason why we have two of them in the extra deck. The restriction of Mirrorjade is it can only banish once per 2 turns, but if it's getting resummoned back to the field again, it can banish once again, but do keep in mind you can only control one Mirrorjade. The part that are terrifying are not the banishing effects, instead the trigger effect whenever a fusion summon Mirrorjade is removed from the field face up, either getting Kaiju, getting Super Poly, or banished face up. It will destroy all monster on opponent's field, but only during the end phase of the turn, means it's activated and resolving the effects now, but the effects will perform during the end phase, just like DPE back in the days. The cool thing is it can bypass unaffected protection like End Punisher, Chaos Angel, even Purrely Noah, but not Blackwing full armor. Remember the removing must be faced up. If it's banished by FafNir face down, it won't trigger the effects. Same like it returned to extra deck, which is also face down. Before we jump into the combo section, first things first, if you're new to the game like literally, one thing you must do is to open the game settings in the main menu. Select Duel. Set Self-Chain to On. Set Activation Confirmation to Switch or Switch plus Hold on PC. Also reset Confirmation to Auto or Confirm Activation. And lastly, set activation order settings to On. Do not miss this part or else you might messed up doing the fancy branded combo. Since branded fusion is limited one now, it's better for you to know how to search it from your deck. The main one is of course summon Aluber to get branded fusion. There are also several ways to get Aluber. Branded opening can be used to summon Aluber with cost of discarding 1 card. Golden Sarco can banish Tragedy, and it will let you add Aluber to your hand. Foolish Burial can also send Tragedy to grave, and it basically do the same thing. Another branded fusion searcher is Springen's Kit. Summon her, and you will get branded fusion, but then you have to return 1 other card from your hand. Make sure to have at least 1 card on your hand before you summon Kit, or else you will return what you searched for. You can use Golden Sarco to banish Mercurier, and Mercurier will add Springen's Kit to your hand, in case your Tragedy is no longer in your deck. You can also use Branded and High Spirits to add Kit if you open any dragon monster on hand, but you will lose 2 cards from your hand, and you will lose another card when you activate Kit's effect. But the good thing is, you can special summon Kit instead of normal summoning her. Another method is using Cartesia. You can also summon Cartesia using fusion deployment. Also, you must either have Black Albion or Bystial Saronir or Bestial Lubellion on your hand, because the main idea here is to send both Bestial Saronir and Black Albion to graveyard. If you have Lubellion, discard it and add Saronir to your hand. Now you can normal summon Cartesia and activate its effect to fusion summon with either Black Albion or Saronir, and summon Dusk Dragon. Dusk Dragon will let you descend level 6 or higher dark or light monster from deck or extra deck. If you use Albion as material, Dusk Dragon must send Saronir, and vice versa. Once Saronir is sent, it will trigger its effect to send another card from deck. You want to send either Branded Fusion or Branded Retribution. You can activate Black Albion effects to send Retribution to graveyard, and activate it right away to add Branded Fusion to hand. Similar method can be used with the new girl, Quemt with Cartesia on hand. Normal summon Quemt, send Black Albion. Now you can special summon Cartesia and fusion summon Cartesia with Quem to Dusk Dragon. Or if you have another light or dark monster on hand, you can use them instead of Quem. If you do that, you can resummon Cartesia to field and Dusk Dragon will send Saronir. Saronir send Branded Fusion, Black Albion will send Retribution and add Branded Fusion to hand. Keep in mind that all these methods also works for other branded cards like Branded White, Branded Red or even Branded Lost. There's also another Branded Fusion Searcher which are not part of Branded family, Keeper of Dragon Magic. It's basically like Aluber, but sadly this card is not part of branded cards, so its only purpose is to add Branded Fusion. If all those methods doesn't comes up, your last choice is to link summon to Verte Anaconda and activate its effect, send Branded Fusion and summon Mirrorjade right away, because after this you are unable to special summon anything. Now, here are the combo that you can do when you manage to get Branded Fusion on your hand. Basic 1-card Branded Fusion combo. Lubellion Line. Branded Fusion Lubellion, send Black Albion and Albaz. Discard 1 card and summon Mirrorjade by returning Lubellion and Black Albion to deck. And you can pass. Here, I'm going to show you what are the interruption you can do with this setup. If that monster is threatening, you can banish it with Mirrorjade by sending Rindbrumm.
Why Rindbrumm?
You're gonna see why. Your opponents decided to return Mirrorjade, which will make Mirrorjade can't activate its destructive effects. Well, we can activate Rindbrumm in Graveyard and summon Albaz to the field and fuse Albaz and that extra deck monster into Mirrorjade. And now Mirrorjade is activatable again to banish one more monster, and that's all the disruption we can do with this line. But what happens if your opponent knows your plan and decided not to remove Mirrorjade? You cannot control 2 of them. If your opponents control a dark monster, you can summon Lubellion right away and return both Rindbrumm and Lubellion to summon Dragostepelia, and you get an monster negate. But if your opponents control a light monster, you can summon Red Albion, make Lubellion by banishing Mirrorjade, and then return banish Mirrorjade and Albaz to summon another Mirrorjade. The good thing is you get 2 defensive body here to protect you in battle phase. If you're going to banish again with second Mirrorjade, I suggest to send Sprint, so during the end phase, if you still have a card on your hand, you can special summon Kit, and add Branded Fusion back to your hand. But if your hands is empty, it's better to add that Kit and summon Kit next turn after you draw a card. And that's the basic play of Branded focusing on Mirrorjade. Red Albion Line. Branded Fusion Red Albion by sending Albaz and White Lubellion to grave. And then summon Lubellion by banish Albaz and any other dark monster in your possession, in this case Aluber. And then summon Mirrorjade by returning Albaz and Lubellion. Now summon White Lubellion by sending Red Albion and activate it. You can choose either Branded Beast for destroying one card on opponent's field. Good thing it can target spell and trap, which Branded are lacking for. But for this, I'm gonna place Branded Lost. Make sure to toggle on when entering the end phase, and Red Albion will trigger its effect. I'm gonna set Branded Opening. Next turn, you can activate Branded Opening and summon Quem from deck. Quem can send Albaz or Cartesia, but for this line I prefer Albaz. Here, I'm gonna show you what are the interruption you can do with this setup. First, banish. Mirrorjade trigger effects. Quem summon back Mirrorjade and second banish. Fusion with opponent's extra deck monster. Third, banish. Next is Rindbrumm Line. This one is not that effective, but it's not a bad idea if your opponent chain max C to your branded fusion, and you don't want to risk it. Activate Branded Fusion, send Albaz and Mercurier to summon Rindbrumm and pass the turn. And with this line, here the interruption that you can perform. Rindbrumm can negate an extra deck monster, as well returning another card to hand. If Rindbrumm is sent to grave, you can activate Rindbrumm effects, summon Albaz, fuse with opponent's monster, and one banish, while Mirrorjade's sitting there waiting to get destroyed. Next is Sanctifire or White Albion Line. This one is almost the same like Rindbrumm. It's another choice to play through Max C, but if you also had Max C on your hand, I suggest to go for this line. Send Albaz and Quem to summon Sanctifire and pass. During opponent's standby phase, activate Max C, and if your opponent's called by grave your Max C, you can chain White Albion. Target Max C, summon it to opponent's field in defense position, and Quem to your own field and send Cartesia. With this, your Max C will resolve. If your opponents decide to challenge your Max C, here are the interruption you can do. When opponents summon an extra deck monster, you can summon Cartesia to field and directly fuse Cartesia with Aluber to summon Dusk Dragon and send Rindbrumm. Immediately activate Rindbrumm. Summon Albaz to field and fuse with that monster, and summon Mirrorjade, and you get one banish. I suggest send Sprint for it. On top of that, whenever your opponents activate a monster effect that summon monster, Dusk Dragon can trigger itself to summon Luluwalalith. But to be honest, I don't really like her. You can switch her with Quaritus or the cheaper one, Proskenion. That's all the basic 1-card branded fusion combo that you can perform. Next is 2 cards combo. Aluber plus Cartesia. Summon Rindbrumm. Special summon Cartesia. Summon Dusk Dragon. Send Albion. Before entering end phase, make sure to toggling on first. Activate Albion, select branded red, but do not set it. Instead, add it to your hand, activate it right away, grab Albaz and fuse it with Dusk Dragon to summon Mirrorjade. We are not done yet. Activate Mirrorjade, send Titaniclad and negate it right away with Rindbrumm, but do not return any card. With this, Mirrorjade can still banish next turn. After that, Titaniclad will summon Quem and send another Albaz to graveyard. Here are the interruptions you can perform. You get first banish. Quem will summon Cartesia back. Rindbrumm negate and return a card. Cartesia fuse Mirrorjade and Rindbrumm to Dragostapelia and get 1 negate. Rindbrumm summon back Albaz and fuse with opponent's monster, summon second Mirrorjade, and you get second banish, while Mirrorjade waiting to be destroyed. Aluber plus Fusion Deploy or Cartesia plus Branded Opening. For this one, I suggest summon your Cartesia first before summoning Aluber, to check if your opponent's has a response or not. If there is, that must be either Imperm or Veiler. Normal Aluber, and add Branded Fusion. If your opponent's decided to Imperm Aluber, you can chain Cartesia to fuse with Aluber and dodge Imperm. At this point, you can go for Puppet Lock. Dusk Dragon send the Puppet, and Branded Fusion summon Sanctifire by sending Quem and Albaz. Let's backtrack to the beginning. If your opponents decided to hold on their Imperm, your best choice is to keep Cartesia until the end by doing a basic red Albion Line combo. Sometimes opponents like to Imperm Lubellion here before you can activate it. After that, we can still fuse Cartesia with Lubellion and summon Dusk Dragon. If opponents have second Imperm, they might Imperm this. Then we still fine and we can end phase here, return Cartesia to hand, and set Branded Opening. Next turn you can activate Opening discard Cartesia and summon Quem send Albaz. We have Mirrorjade, and we have Albaz in graveyard. This basically the same end board like previous one but minus the negate from Rindbrumm. Aluber plus any Bystial. This combo is almost the same like Aluber plus Cartesia, with an extra Bystial on hand. Cartesia plus Quem. This is actually a really good hand. Summon Quem, send Black Albion, summon Cartesia, fused with Quem, but if you have another light or dark monster in your hand, keep Quem on field and fuse Cartesia with that monster and summon Dusk Dragon. Send Saronir. Saronir send Branded Fusion. Activate Black Albion, send Retribution. And now you can add Branded Fusion to your hand. From here, you can just do Red Albion Line combo. When summoning Lubellion, use Saronir and Albaz in graveyard. In end phase, I suggest to set second Branded Retribution. That's why we play 2 in the list. The downside of this is we don't have Albaz in graveyard, so here are the interruption we can perform. First, banish. Since we don't have Albaz in grave, I suggest send Sprind instead of Rindbrumm. Cartesia fuse Mirrorjade and Dusk Dragon into Dragostapelia, a monster negate. And Quem resummon Mirrorjade back to field. And also, we add Mercurier as our monster negate. We also have special summon effect, negate from Retribution. We still also have Dusk Dragon's special summon effects. And we get our second banish. And at the end, if our opponents successfully play through all of our interruption, we can still summon Albaz from deck and fuse with opponent's monster. And we get our third banish. And if you have second Quemt, you can summon her as well. Cartesia plus Albaz. For this one, I suggest normal summon Albaz first, and if there's a response, it will be either Max C, Imperm, or Valor, special summon Cartesia, and activate her right away. If your opponent Imperm Cartesia, you can go for Verte and summon Mirrorjade, but the thing is you can't do this if you summon Cartesia with Fusion Deploy, so it's better pass the turn and summon Mirrorjade on opponent's turn. Or if your opponents keep their Imperm, it's better to summon Sanctifire and pass the turn. Next turn you can wait until opponent place a card on field and then summon Albaz to your field and Cartesia to opponents, and fuse them Mirrorjade. Cartesia plus any other bestial except Saronir and Lubellion. You might thinking this is a brick, but there's a way to fully utilize this hands. During opponent's turn, we can activate opening Send Cartesia and summon Quemt, and then send Albaz, but I suggest we wait for opponent's move first, or else they can just swing to Quemt, and we losing it. Cartesia plus Saronir or Lubellion or Black Albion. This is basically Red Albion Line, with an extra Cartesia and Dusk Dragon. Next is Puppet Lock combo. After so many testing, it's better for you to bring this card. It can negate Called by Grave easily. Aluber plus Cartesia. This is the simplest one. Aluber or Tragedy or Quemt Plus branded opening. This combo is a 99% succession to lock your opponent. Quemt plus Lubellion. This one is similar with previous one. We start with Quemt on field and branded fusion on hand. Again, 99% succession to lock your opponent. Nadir 1-card Puppet Lock. I don't recommend this, and you need this 4 cards in your deck for it to work. Next is how to play through Ash Blossom. Our best choice is either Nadir's Servant and Triple Tactic Thrust with Fusion Duplication. For Thrust Duplication package, this only works if your opponent's Ash Blossom branded Fusion. But if your opponents negate Aluber with Ash or Imperm, you don't get branded Fusion in Graveyard for duplication use. So here comes Nadir, and why it is very useful even though it restricts you to summon from extra deck. In case any of your branded Fusion Searcher is negated, Nadir is a one-card combo Mirrorjade. Activate Nadir, send Sprint, and grab Albaz. But before entering end phase, toggling on first and then end phase. Activate Sprint Special Summon Kit. Kit will add High Spirit and return one card. Activate High Spirit, reveal Albaz. Send Red Albion, send Albaz, and add Mirrorjade. Activate Red Albion, set branded in red and pass. Next turn, you can activate it whenever you want. Activate branded in red, grab Albaz. Fuse him with Kit and summon Lubellion. Discard and summon Mirrorjade. You have Mirrorjade and also Mirrorjade on hand for extra negate. This is not an effective board, but it's good enough when playing through hand traps. This doesn't mean Thrust is not useful, because Thrust can also be used to add branded Fusion. When you go second, you can also add any going second staples, like Herald of Abyss to remove Purrely Noir or Arise Heart, or you can even add Dark Ruler No More to combat those stupid stun deck. And that's all that I can provide. If you want tips and tricks about branded, I suggest check my previous branded guide in this timestamps. If you like it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it. See you next time.